All right, let's quickly talk about, because I don't have a whole lot to say, let's talk about The House of the Laughing Windows, or The House with Laughing Windows, or whatever you want to call it. I'm sure there's more titles because it's a foreign film. They always have multiple titles. Depending what country you're at, they have different titles everywhere. Zombie 2. Is it Zombie or is it Zombie 2? Is it Zombie Flesh Eaters? Like, what's it called? This one, I'll just call it House with Laughing Windows because that one makes the best sense to me. This one is a Giallo from 1976. This was a Patron request from a patron who loves this movie, chose it as their favorite movie of 1976. It's about a guy named Stefano. I'll just read this plot synopsis real quick. A young restorer is commissioned to save a controversial mural located in the church of a small, isolated village. And this movie is highly rated. It's got a 7.1 on IMDb. It has no Rotten Tomatoes score right now because only 2 people have reviewed it on there. And it's Eli Roth's favorite Giallo, I believe. He's talked highly about it. A lot of people love it. I don't. And here's why. I don't have much to say outside of it's boring. Now, before someone tries to pull the old, oh, it's just because of your age bullshit, not the case. There are plenty of slow burns out there that I love. There are movies older than this movie that others would say are slow and boring that I love. I just watched Rosemary's Baby recently. That is a 2-hour and 15-minute movie that I've heard other people say is boring as hell. I thought it moved along good because I was interested in the story, the characters. I didn't think it was slow at all, but people say that's a slow burn, it's slow. I disagree. But this movie was fucking slow. So slow that it was a chore. I just couldn't get into the characters. I didn't care about anybody. They throw in a love interest that just felt so forced. He meets this girl. She offers him snails to eat, and then now they're fucking. It's like, what? Huh? How did they get from that to that? Like, I don't buy anything in this movie. I don't care about the story. Like, I was trying my damn hardest to focus, but nothing was pulling me in. I was never interested. I was never creeped out by anything. I was not into the mystery of who these 2 sisters were and who Leg Nani or whatever his name is, the painter was, and his background. Like, none of it worked for me. That's all I can say. It just didn't work for me, and it's mainly because of how slow it was. I couldn't get into it. It was hard to focus. Like, it's in subtitles, so I had to read the whole movie, so that kind of made it more of a chore, just having to read this movie that I wasn't into. If the characters were better, maybe that would have worked, but yeah, like, what I can, that's really all my negatives is the forced love interest. I didn't like their relationship at all. It just was not believable to me. Didn't like them. No chemistry really there. And then the pacing, just so slow. The mystery, I just never got into. I predicted who one of the 2 sisters was going to be. The other one, I don't think anyone could ever possibly predict because it's a fucking cheat. There's no way you could predict who the second sister is going to be. And then the score also, like the music, so quiet and absent throughout most of the movie. There's like no music, lots of dead air, like no sound. So it's like nothing. Like, you hear nothing. It just makes it feel slower. It makes the movie feel more slow and boring with the lack of music on the film. And when there is music, you can barely hear it. So, yeah, getting into what I like about the movie, I thought the main actor was good. I thought his performance was solid, and they have some creepy phone calls in here, like a lot of other movies in the genre and slashers, so they throw that in here, so that was kind of creepy, but, I've seen it done a lot, so it's not anything new or anything, but I liked it, and it's atmospheric, the small village setting, and so the setting, the atmosphere, that's the only real good thing about it. Like, that's the biggest plus is the atmosphere of the creepy, like, ghost town village, whatever. Like, the guy can't trust anybody. Nobody's helping him out. He's on his own trying to figure this shit out. His best friend dies early on. And so that kicks off his investigation, his interest in what's happening, like what caused his suicide. They think it's all suicide, but he's like, I think somebody pushed him to his, death. But I didn't get on board. I didn't care. So final thoughts. This movie, it just isn't for me. There's a lot of people who love it, but for me, it was just very slow, stagnant, not a lot of things happening, nothing creepy. Uh, but that's subjective. Some people might find what happens in the last 5 minutes to be creepy, but to me, I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, I predicted that, but I don't see how you could predict that, but whatever. Like, it just didn't work for me. I'm sorry. I wanted to like this movie. I didn't go into this movie like I'm going to fucking hate it. I want to hate it because who would do that? I didn't. I wanted to like this movie. I was praying throughout the whole thing, like, please somehow make up for the first half and the second half, or at least the third act. Please pick up, get real interesting. But it didn't. Not for me. So when it comes to the house with laughing windows, I'm sorry, but I have to give this one 1.5 stars. I really dislike it. And before you jump down my throat for that low rating, just so you know, my rating system is based on how I feel towards the movie, not the quality of the picture. Technically, the cinematography, the way it's shot, average. It's not poorly shot or poorly edited, nothing like that. So technically wise, it's better than a 1.5, but I rate movies based on how I felt by the end of it. Did I like it or did I not like it? I strongly dislike this movie because of how slow and how much of a chore it was for me to get through it, and that's why it's a 1.5 star. So just explaining that real quick. So if you want to understand my star system, check out the info box below. It explains what each star means. So 1.5 stars, strongly dislike it, and I don't think I'm going to go into a spoiler discussion because I don't have anything to say. Like, what can I talk about? There was one funny line in the movie at this funeral where this mentally handicapped guy, I didn't know he was mentally challenged. I had to read that online. I did research this movie after it was done. I'm like, I'm missing something because everybody loves this movie. So I was reading up on it, read the whole plot from beginning to ending. Like what did I miss? Nothing really. So the mentally handicapped guy, he's at the funeral and he tells the guy, I buried your friend with a live mouse just so he won't be alone in his grave. So that line made me laugh. And then I think I already said it, when he meets this t-shirt girl, she just invites him into her house like, oh, hey, stranger, come on in. And then opens the fridge. There's a bunch of snails inside. And she's like, do you want to eat them? Like, I don't want to eat them because they're gross, but you can have some. And then, like, the next day or the same day, they're fucking. What? So unbelievable. And, like, then we find out that the woman who supposedly can't walk, the one who is bedridden, the one who is paralyzed, she is one of the two sisters. I predicted that. Like, I didn't believe it, that she was actually paralyzed. But then the other sister of Legnani, Nanny, or whatever, however you say his name, I never took Italian class, so I don't know how to pronounce it. Legnani. Legnani's sister, the other one, is the priest, who is clearly a guy. It's a guy actor, right? I didn't research it too much, but just looking at this priest, he looks like a priest, he looks like a dude. That's a dude, right? Talks like a dude, and then at the end of the movie, when he's like, just joking, I'm the sister, I talk like a girl now, here's my titty, he whips out his boob, and then the movie ends. Like, so it's a weird, shocking last 5 minutes, but it wasn't enough to make me go, oh, okay, I get it now, I love this movie. Like, it didn't make up for how fucking slow the first 95, 100 minutes were. It's like an hour and 45 minutes, and then you get that weird, jarring last 5 minutes, but it's not enough to make up for the rest of the film. So they say something about possession, like they're being possessed, but is that true? Were they possessed? I don't know. Like, I read online something else, like they're killing people to be models for their brother who's dead, and he's in the closet still. Like, they have his body in there. It looks kind of weird looking, and like it still has eyeballs, even though the body's like completely rotted. His eyeballs are still there. They're killing people for their brother to bring him back to life, or they're possessed by him. They say possession, so I don't understand what the fuck's happening, really. But they kill the handicapped dude, stabbing him a bunch, and then, yeah, they flash a titty, and then credits roll, the end. So that's all I gotta say about this movie. There's not anything else to talk about. Looking through my notes. something about flowers. I don't know what that's all about. So, yeah, if you love this movie, cool. I'm not saying you're stupid or anything for liking it. People like whatever they want to like. But this movie didn't work for me. So, sorry, Jeanette. This movie was just too slow, and the mystery was not intriguing to me, and nothing was creepy at all. Good atmosphere, though. I'll give it that. So, House with the Laughing Windows. What are your thoughts on this movie? If you want to explain it to me, why it's so good, go right ahead. I would like to understand this movie more, like the ending, like what all that meant. The possession, if it was possession, what the motive was exactly. I forget. It's been 2 days now since I've seen it, and I don't remember much about it. But so yeah, just explain in the comments below what I missed, why it's good if you want, but be respectful. All right, don't be a dick. So let me know your thoughts on this movie in the comments below. And if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's all an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.